Today we're web slinging into social action with the one and only Stan Lee. Enough said.
I do nothing till I hear action.
There are a lot of different ways to get your idea out there, whether it be through feature films, documentaries, comedy, the internet, or even comic books. Okay, so Stan, you're clearly an inspiration to so many people, but what I want to know from you is, in your opinion, what do comics teach us?
Well, I think the one thing certainly that comics help with is reading ability. Very often in school, the teacher says, I want you to read Dickens, and the kid reads it, and sometimes grudgingly. Right. But a comic, they will pick up by themselves, and they'll thumb through it and get interested. And the more they read a comic, the more facile they get.
What were some of the lessons that you were trying to teach with some of your famous characters?
When you write a story, you have so many options. One of the options is to make the good guy the one that the reader would want to emulate rather than the bad guy. And the more the young reader likes the hero and admires the hero, and the more the hero does good things, subliminally the kid absorbs these things. I know when I was young, I loved the actor Errol Flynn. You're too young to remember him.
Hey, I know Errol Flynn.
Really great.
Yeah.
He was Captain Blood, and he was Robin Hood, and he was the sheriff of Dodge City, and I wanted to be like Errol Flynn. I didn't want to be like the villain because Errol Flynn was more interesting and more heroic. Yeah. So that made me the wonderful human being that I am today.
So how about in terms of practical knowledge? Like, how big does science play a part in your writing?
Well, in my case, it's all pseudoscience. I know less about science than most any human being. And for example, when I wanted the Fantastic Four to get their superpowers, I said that they were inundated by cosmic rays.
Right.
I don't know what a cosmic ray is. I just have heard that expression. And when Bruce Banner became the Hulk, he was subjected to a gamma ray. I wouldn't know a gamma ray if it passed by me right here, but it sounded good, and hopefully they would make the reader want to investigate gamma rays and cosmic rays and radioactive spiders or whatever it was I threw in.
Now, do you think that comic books can drive those messages?
It's a funny thing because a lot of parents years ago said, I don't want my child to read comics because it'll stifle his or her imagination. When you read a comic book, and every drawing just makes your imagination relate to it. Actually, just today, I was working on a new superhero. You know, the biggest problem with superheroes, new ones, what power do you give them? Everything's been done. I found a new power, and I'm working on it right now. And if I'm lucky, the thing should be out in a couple of years. And you remember that we had this interview 2 years from now. You heard it first.
I heard it first?
That you heard it first. Oh, by the way, I think I'll make the hero a Latino.
Okay.
We haven't had a good Latin hero yet, so I think that's what I'm going to do.
Well, thank you so much, Stan Lee.
Hey, thank you for making it painless. Well, relatively painless.
I'm glad I could accommodate.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Excelsior. We nailed it.
There are plenty of comic books that are directly about social issues and others that are just fun, punch-em-up superhero fare, but they all have a chance to inspire or motivate or teach. So read up on your comic books, folks. They're fun, and who knows, you might even learn something along the way. Now, before I go, as Stan said, our society needs heroes, and you can be a hero right now by clicking the link in the description below to take action against bullying in schools. For BFD, I'm Marisha Ray, and don't forget to subscribe.
You can print pretty much any shape imaginable. Even though it ends up as a 3D model, it's not actually printing in that way.